everybody, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Leah Catherine, this is Leah's Movies, and we are on to episode 2, season 3 of Young Justice, and I didn't feel like putting contacts in today, so please enjoy my ring light glare. Sorry, not sorry. So last episode was crazy. Season 3 just started, dropping bodies, another time jump. Calder's in charge of the Justice League, but also the Justice League is partially now disbanded because Batman and a bunch of other people just left the group. There's worldwide intergalactic human trafficking of teenagers with metagenes. We've potentially discovered 2-part, 3-part episodes, continuous storytelling, and so I think in this episode we're going back to fake Landistan, where the Crown Princess has been missing for 2 years, and they have the special ingredients to make tar to activate metagenes. So yeah, there's a new Outsiders team led by Nightwing, with Nightwing, Unseen Oracle, Black Lightning without his powers, Artemis, who's now Tigress, and Connor, who's still Superboy, still in the same merch. And yeah, at least for me, the first episode, there was so much going on, and the pacing was so fast, and the vibe was so intense that I'm just really excited to see if they can maintain that energy through the season. A lot of you are saying they won't, but I'm excited to see for myself anyway. And there was something else I wanted to know. Oh yeah, I kind of, a little bit, got spoiled by a poster. Although I would say it's not a spoiler if it's on the poster, because those come out before the show, so that's just like a little tidbit for the audience. But the princess from fake Landistan, her name was Tara, and then in the poster there's Tara with the earthbending Tara, like from Teen Titans. So that's the same Tara? Is Tara a princess? Because that's really cool. But also Tara was a double agent on Teen Titans, and I don't know if that's a comics-based storyline or just like a Teen Titans TV show-based storyline. So now I have my suspicious eye on her when we eventually see her again. But I am excited because I like knowing who people are. Yeah, so I think that's all I have for a recap. I'm going to stop talking. Let's get started.
Over 16,000 child and teen abductions have been reported worldwide.
Are they doing PSAs?
The trafficking of metahumans. And if you see something, scream something.
Wow. That was uncomfortable.
The Justice League regrets to announce the resignation in protest of the following members: Batman, Batwoman, Black Lightning, Green Arrow.
Okay, Black Lightning did not leave in protest. He left for separate reasons. Oh, Plastic Man. We never actually got to see him last season. Like, he was present in some scenes, but he didn't talk. Which is disappointing, because he's fun.
Blaming the Justice League or its members is laughable. The ridiculous quantity of conditions, exclusions, limitations, and stipulations that this body has added to the League's charter over Atlantean protest have made it impossible for the League to do its jobs.
Of course, the Atlantean ambassador supports the League, but
oh
why?
Gosh.
Has no
Bialia,
been
of
invited
course.
to join?
When Bialia produces a hero who isn't a wanted criminal, perhaps the League will consider her or his candidacy.
That statement is an outrageous exaggeration.
Okay, but why does that dude have, I don't know, man. I don't like the way they colored him. Why did they give him bags like that?
Or no.
Then they are not heroes, but vigilantes.
Without prior written permission from the government, Markovia categorically forbids entry to any vigilantes or so-called heroes.
This really is the Young Justice Civil War season, isn't it? Also, I love political infighting, so that appeals to me greatly. If that's going to be like a recurring throughout the season, I wish they prepped it more in season 1, because the roots, not season 1, season 2, because the roots of this kind of debate were there. We just never got to see it, and now we're running straight into the issue.
Artemis and I will fly commercially from Vladova to Markovia under false passports. I suspect that whomever's behind Bedlam was most likely behind the assassination of the King and Queen, who had made it their mission to end meta-trafficking in Markovia.
Weird if it took 2 years for you to stop human trafficking.
Artemis and I will scope out the major players using hacked invitations to Prince Gregor's pre-coronation reception.
not exactly a wild crowd.
Hard to feel the Aster when both your parents have just been murdered. Trust me.
My dude, you're 20 years old. How are you still doing this wordplay?
Do you really think the two princes could have had something to do with their own parents' deaths?
I hope not.
I mean, historically.
That's Dr. Simon X, a world-renowned geneticist.
Okay, just in front of that waiter, huh?
Tomorrow, when Gregor's crowned king, Uncle Freddy becomes regent.
Less than 24 hours ago, our own King Victor and my beloved sister, Queen Ilona, were ruthlessly assassinated.
It's a weird week for assassinations.
Just varagjaru dillam kiut regent. Tas irtikai parvienu gado. Nissiet naive.
Were they, like, trained in a language different than the native language? I feel like someone should understand them. Also, he said "delam" real aggressively. Like, maybe don't, if you're gonna shit talk someone, don't call them by name. A nickname, even if you're doing it in another language.
Your gear's in the northwest corner of the Markovian National Cemetery. We'll head over to the Children's Hospital to check out its anomalous power usage.
I love Black Lightning suddenly being a major part of the show, but I'm also like, we did see him before, but it's so random that he's like the main team now.
Perhaps your safest course is to simply step aside and place your faith in Gregor and your uncle.
The safe course has brought us to this.
I mean, it is the safest, but
something daring must be done if I am to save Markovia.
I'm not saying I trust him, but even if he was a good guy, yeah, he's been through some stuff. I can see why you'd be like, let me just get some superpowers. Just in case.
Thank you, Doctor. That's exactly what I needed.
Follow X and the Prince, you get our gear.
Right. I'll catch up ASAP.
Just say ASAP, it's faster. I still can't get over the twin princes are supposed to be 17. Adult men.
Oh yeah, they're using a lot of juice.
I think it's interesting that they're covering their mouths.
The morgue of a children's hospital? No. I don't want to see any more dead kids.
You think they'd cover their eyes and heads.
Can you open it? Not sure. Sensing power is one thing. Generating it, that hasn't worked for me since Ran.
In the basement of a super hospital with a giant basement lab, they're not like, just one ring camera just to keep an eye on things.
Camera bug's in place. Nightwing, are you getting a signal? Place is shielded.
I do like that the camera bug swirls their face. I think that's fun. It's a good detail.
Mother box. Whoever took this one apart murdered it. I'm sorry. I think we got all the confirmation we need. Let's get these kids out of here.
Let's That's Count Vertigo to you, peasant.
Oh.
Stun Vertigo, or that creature.
He just told you he's been having issues. Wait, no. Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah, there's no way he's getting his powers together for that. He kind of killed a 14-year-old girl that looked just like that. Oh, good thing he picked up Superboy and not Black Lightning. Look, see? Not even a burn. Maybe some tingling.
Otto, fetch. Or...
Wait, Otto. That was her brother! Yeah, because I was making the Otto Octavius joke. Oh, well, they have the same meta power, I guess, meta ability, which is to turn into a giant lava monster.
Cover them up.
Yo! This season, they were like, alright, we are kidnapping children, trafficking them, turning them to monsters. Our heroes are killing kids. Now we have a mass grave. Well, alrighty then. Oh, that's the woman in the hijab, right?
Holy... Shovel faster!
Girl, jump!
What are you doing?
big fan of the using your back of the knee to hurt people. I don't know. I've seen that like in this, in Birds of Prey. Always looks cool. They should do more of that and less flying scissor kicks. Oh. Oh. Well, that's nice.
Okay. Not bad for a dead girl. Time to go. And that is not a bicycle built for two.
Why not? Can she sit on the handlebars or something?
Why were they burying you alive?
Okay. Why aren't you talking? Because it looked like she was sneaking something out of the palace when we saw her.
Are you driving like a madman? Simply making sure we're not being followed, Your Highness. Don't call me that.
I know that
in
voice.
Markovia, only the king and the crown prince are addressed as Your Highness. Apologies, Prince Brion.
ETA?
Running a little late. And I'm, bringing a friend. What? Long story.
It's not that long a story.
At least.
Why does it look like she's talking to Hamster Ball? I mean, Hamster Ball is cute and charming, so I also would want to hang out with her. But interesting.
Nightwing, come in. Signal is weak. Do you read? Okay. So at least we know Vertigo's running Bedlam, right? Yeah, great.
Like, I like how he's clearly supposed to still be in pain, but they couldn't, like I mean, just make it like a dark handprint on his arm or something to indicate that he's been burned. Oh! Bro, what? Like, they just kind of keep melting his clothes off, but his body is still fine. How are you gonna crack a spine and give a 3rd-degree burn in one scene?
Tigress, reroute to Lightning's coordinates.
Roger that.
That's why you shouldn't jump into shallow water.
What's your name?
Name?
Name, yes. Do you understand? Do you speak English?
English, yes.
Her face is very alarming. It's like she's talking, but she has this like...
I'm sorry.
Maybe it's just...
It's okay. It'll be okay.
Okay.
I mean, I guess being killed will do that to you.
Nightwing, we found Lightning. He's breathing, but out of it. No sign of SB. Lightning! What happened? Where?
If they paralyze him on top of the trauma of murdering a child, I will be furious. But will that give us more Static Shock? Maybe a win. Or just static.
Wonder. Well, of course. The Superboy.
Yeah, I couldn't see his lips. Couldn't figure out who it was.
How did you know it was me?
You don't think I would recognize you because I can't see your cheekbones?
Your presence here quite interesting. But for now, let's put him in the subject room.
Why have you brought me to a morgue, Doctor? In a children's hospital? Patience, young prince. As with the Metagene.
Also, I mean, I don't know how security works when you're a prince. But you couldn't bring one dude and just be like, hey, I'm about to do something sketchy. Just want a dude with a gun, you know, for backup. You're the prince. Wouldn't they just listen to you? It's their job to just follow quietly. Signal lost. And now you know why you couldn't connect to,
What?
Superboy and...
Those are the metamorphosis pods. I like to think of them as cocoons, where caterpillars go to die.
Do you know how cocoons work?
You're traffickers. Stealing sick children from a children's hospital. They're not all sick.
Sometimes we steal healthy children. Okay.
Gregor and I, we're such
See what I said about a backup dude with a gun?
Do you really know how your brother would react? More people are fine with this sort of thing than you'd imagine.
So his brother is the evil one. I mean, I believe it, but they didn't give him suspicious facial hair, so I was on the fence.
You'd expose our operation to the royal family.
Wait, well, he said expose, so I guess the brother doesn't know. I mean, I know the cameras aren't sending a signal, but do the ones they planted record? Because that means they'll have footage of all of it.
I think Plasmus must have grabbed SB just as I jumped from the spillway.
Under orders from Vertigo?
Yeah.
So Count Vertigo runs Bedlam.
Girl, we got there already.
But our first priority is SB. I'm going in through the hospital. Tigress, Lightning, head back to Bedlam via the sewers.
Roger that.
Lightning can't walk. Back hurts.
Me. Meanwhile, do nothing until I return. Understand?
He said he was following orders. I mean, it does seem like it would make sense to try to ingratiate the, oh boy, there she is, the royal family into this operation.
Some confusion about our orders. Wait, no, what are you doing?
I'm kind of not surprised she's involved. I mean, her whole like, oh boy, are you sure wouldn't it be safer to do it? Okay. If they play a smidge too dumb, you have to also assume they're in on it.
One of the girls, she kind of came back to life as we were burying her. Full meta, and you let her get away.
Well, she came back from the dead, bro.
First the Superboy and his escaped companion, then X and his new subject, and now these two women.
Thank you for recapping the episode, bro. I had forgotten some of that.
Excuse the interruption, Your Highness, but we've had an incident or three.
Okay, see? He said Your Highness, so I'm assuming it's the brother. But then he said that thing about exposing our operations to the royal family, which made it seem like the brother wasn't involved. I'm confused.
Let me out! Don't do this!
I mean,
please!
Wanted to activate your metagene.
It is all for the best.
Post-credits, post-credits. I was told there were post-credits. Hold on. There was no post-credit. I was lied to. Okay, so new major developments. That poor girl's sister, Otto, is also a meta, also a big lava monster and under the control, and is gonna give Black Lightning nightmares for years. That poor man. Superboy has been abducted. The prince with suspicious facial hair is, I'm going to say, a good guy who just genuinely wanted to protect his family and country, but has led him astray and into the heart of the metagene trafficking syndicate taking place in the hospital basement. The family physician is an op. It is what it is. It's so fun. I feel like normally with these little reviews that I do, it's kind of like you can go, okay, this happened, and the story was wrapped up, and then here's the kind of ending dangling thread that there usually is per episode. But here, it's all just one story. So there's all dangling threads because we haven't completed the story, we're just in a part of it. I am curious if it is going to be like this the entire season long, or if it's going to be like Justice League and JLU, where it's going to be like arcs, like 3-episode arcs, 4-episode arcs, and then kind of moving on to the next thing, or if it's going to continue the whole way through. I do think if they do it the whole way through, that could get a little dicey, because you need some sense of conclusion. Like, it's not, because most shows where it's like we're telling one continuous story for 10 episodes, it's like 10 episodes, 8 episodes, 13 episodes, not like 20 of them. So if there's no kind of wrap up, if there's no end of arcs in the midst of all of this, it's gonna feel like it drags. So that's like my only kind of early concern. But we're only on episode 2, so I don't want to like act like that's an issue. I am just trying to like guess why people don't like the show. Like, I want to anticipate. Yeah, it's definitely a very different energy from episode 1, because episode 1 I was just so shocked and appalled the whole way through that Myra was just like, ah! And then this one was obviously much calmer. We're starting to unravel, we're moving into the plot, we're, returning players from the light like Vertigo. So yeah, I think this episode is probably going to be a better indicator of how the rest of the show is going to go. I'm also curious how long we're going to be, which, I mean, I guess that's what I said earlier, but how long we're going to be on this specific mission. Obviously, the Justice League has disbanded to some degree. Obviously, there's another segment of the League, like, out in space trying to help these kids. Are we gonna jump back and forth? Is it going to be like, yeah, like, is it going to be one story, one story, one story? Is it going to be like, we're here with Nightwing and Artemis and Connor, and then next episode we're gonna switch to Calder? Or is it just gonna be like those little tidbits, like seeing Gar doing a see something, scream something PSA? Okay, so yes, I went on Twitter while I was reviewing this. I have ADHD. And so literally just by complete coincidence, because I mentioned in the intro, like, oh, is Terra, Princess Terra, the earthbending Terra that we saw from Teen Titans? And I opened Twitter, and the first tweet I saw was about who abused more teenagers, All For One or Slade. And then in the comments, hello, is a comic strip of, I hope is not Slade about to sleep with Terra. I really, really hope. But also says, without the help of Terra Markov, aka Terra, Terra. So, think for sure, if it wasn't implied from that poster I saw, definitely Princess Terra is earthbending Terra. And also, are we going to see... No, we are. We've seen Deathstroke already. We know he's in the show. So if they're gonna do that weird, creepy Deathstroke Terra relationship, yet to be seen. But now, that was really fortuitous. I truly did not plan that. But that leaves me with a lot of questions now about when we're gonna see Princess Terra and what they're going to do with her, because I was like, oh yeah, from Teen Titans, I recognize that. But like, I didn't realize it went like this deep, apparently, that it was like a common thing in the comics that they have this weird relationship. I mean, I should have assumed that based off the show. But now, knowing that they're both in this show, how is that going to show up? And obviously, I'm assuming we're not going to see her for a while. I mean, the brother is assuming power, the uncle is regent, the parents are dead. She's been gone for 2 years. So assuming she was one of the earliest, like, meta experiments, if she was successful, which we're gonna say she is, because she gets powers and can earthbend, have they been, like, fully controlling her, or is it gonna be one of those things of, like, she's been here for so long now, she's just one of us? Like, we don't need to put a mind control patch in her or anything. She's just part of the team. Because that could be really fun if they end up recruiting the brother with suspicious facial hair who is a nice guy, who now has meta powers, and then he has to go face to face against his sister, like, later on. What if the Your Highness was for Terra? I mean, maybe I'm reaching, but he said, like, why are you involving the royal family? So it implied that the royal family wasn't involved. The only person in the royal family left who could be involved would be Terra. But I mean, I guess they wouldn't call her Your Highness because she's not in charge, unless they're trying to get rid of all of the Markovs, leaving her the only survivor, and then she comes back and takes the throne. That's an option. That's an option. Yeah, so I was really about to end this whole review until I saw that tweet. So that worked out for me, and that gave me more to ramble about and think about and make conspiracy theories about. So thanks for that, Bird app. And on that note, I think I'm done with this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, comment, etc. If you don't want to do any of that, but you've watched all the way to the end of this video, thank you. I still really appreciate you. You can follow me on said Bird app at Leah Sees Movies, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace!